When it's an in-breath, we mentally note it, in-breath. When it's an out-breath, we mentally follow it, out-breath. In, out. When a distraction arises in us, a thought, a reaction, just note it. That is a thought. Come back to your breath. Anytime a thought, a distraction tempts us, we recognize it. We enjoy our in-breath. We enjoy our out-breath. Dear friends, in a moment we will begin the ceremony, but just let everyone know that it's being live streamed right now. We've invited all our teenagers who are here for the teen camp just recently. About maybe 40 or so of them took the Five Mindfulness Training. So you can say hello to them. They're at home watching us, joining us, because we asked them to recite it regularly. So we hope at least a few of them show up. I don't know how many of you there, but we are very happy that you join us. And for us here in the monastery, we will begin with incense offering. And incense offering to our altar, it represents paying tribute and being grateful to our ancestors, our spiritual ancestors, all our teachers. And this is, and it will involve some prostration, some touching the earth. So if you are able and you feel comfortable, you can do as we do. Or if you're at the chair back there, you could just join your palms to mentally, spiritually pay tribute and give thanks to all the teachers who have brought this down to us now. So that's what the ceremony will begin with. So please yeah, follow us if you can. If not, it's okay as well.
In gratitude we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddha and bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as the earth herself, reflecting careful effort, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and bodhisattvas. May we awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true hope. The one who bows and the one who is bowed to are both by nature empty. Therefore, the communication between them is inexpressibly perfect. Our practice center is the net of Indra, reflecting all Buddhas everywhere. And with my person in front of each Buddha, I go with my whole life for refuge. Offering light in the 10 directions, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, to whom we bow. Teaching and living the way of awareness in the very midst of suffering and confusion. Shakyamuni Buddha, the fully enlightened one. Mother of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and all beings, nourishing, holding, and healing all. Bodhisattva Gaya, Great Mother Earth, precious jewel of the cosmos. We bow in gratitude. Radiating light in all directions, source of life on earth. Mahavairochana Tathagata, Great Father Son, Buddha of infinite light and life. We bow in gratitude. Showing the way fearlessly and compassionately,
Difference that you receive on the page 5 will be in the English.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato the dark is deep and lovely. practice it. We've got to realize it's true me. The insight that brings us to the other shore. Avalokiteshvara, while practicing deeply with the insight that brings us to the other shore, suddenly discovered that all of the five skandhas are equally empty. And with this realization, he overcame all ill fear. Listen, Shariputra, this body itself is emptiness, and emptiness itself is this body. Body is not other than emptiness, and emptiness is not other than this body. The same is true of feelings, perception, mental formation, and consciousness. Listen, Shariputra, all phenomena bear the mark of emptiness. The true nature is a nature of no birth, no death, no being, no non-being, no defilement, no purity, no increasing, no decreasing. That is why in emptiness, body, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness are not separate self-entities. The 18 realms of phenomena, which are the 6 sense organs, 6 sense objects, and 6 consciousnesses, are also not separate self-entities. The 12 rings of interdependent arising and extinction are also not separate self-entities. Ill being, the causes of ill being, the end of ill being, the path inside and attainment, also not separate self-entities. Whoever can see this no longer needs anything to attain. Bodhisattvas who practice the insight brings us to the other shore. See no more obstacles in their mind, and because there are no more obstacles in their mind, they can overcome all fear, destroy your wrong perception, and realize perfect nirvana. All Buddhas in the past, present, and future, by practicing the insight that brings us to the other shore, are capable of attaining authentic and perfect enlightenment. Therefore, Shariputra, it should be known that the insight that brings us to the other shore is a great mantra, most illuminating mantra, the highest mantra, the mantra beyond compare, the true wisdom that has the power to put an end to all kinds of suffering. Therefore let us proclaim a mantra to praise the insight that brings us to the other shore. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisattva. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisattva.
Sangha Karman procedure. Has the entire community assembled?
Yes, the entire community has assembled.
Is there harmony in the community?
Yes, there is harmony.
Is there anyone not able to be present who has asked to be represented? And have they declared themselves to have done their best to study and practice the 5 mindfulness trainings?
No, there is not.
What is the reason for the community gathering today?
The community has gathered to perform the Sangha Kakmen procedure for reciting the 5 mindfulness trainings.
Noble community, please listen. Today, the 17th of August in the year 2025, has been declared to be the Mindfulness Trainings Recitation Day. We have gathered at the appointed time. The noble community is ready to hear and recite the mindfulness trainings in an atmosphere of harmony. Thus, the recitation can proceed. Is this statement clear and complete? Brothers and sisters, it is now time to recite the 5 mindfulness trainings. The 5 mindfulness trainings represent the Buddhist vision for global spirituality and ethic. They are a concrete expression of the Buddha's teachings on the 4 Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, the path of right understanding and true love, leading to healing, transformation, and happiness for ourselves and for the world. To practice the 5 mindfulness trainings is to cultivate the insight of interbeing or right view, which can remove all discrimination, intolerance, anger, fear, and despair. If we live according to the 5 mindfulness trainings, we are already on the path of a bodhisattva. Knowing we are on that path, we are not lost in confusion about our life in the present or in fears about the future. We ask the community to listen with a serene mind. Consider the mindfulness trainings as a clear mirror in which to look at ourselves. Say yes silently every time you see that during the past month you have made an effort to study, practice, and observe the mindfulness training read. The first mindfulness training, reverence for life. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing and compassion, and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in my thinking, or in my way of life. Seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, fear, greed, and intolerance, which in turn come from dualistic and discriminative thinking, I will cultivate openness, non-discrimination, and non-attachment to views in order to transform violence, fanaticism, and dogmatism in myself and in the world. This is the first of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it during the past month?
The second mindfulness training, true happiness. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppressions, I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others, and I will share my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in need. I will practice looking deeply to see that the happiness and suffering of others are not separate from my own happiness and suffering, that true happiness is not possible without understanding and compassion, and that running after wealth, fame, power, and sensual pleasures can bring much suffering and despair. I'm aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude and not on external conditions, and that I can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that I already have more than enough conditions to be happy. I am committed to practicing right livelihood so that I can help reduce the suffering of living beings on earth, stop contributing to climate change, and heal and preserve our precious planet. This is the second of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it during the past month?
The third mindfulness training, true love. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Knowing that sexual desire is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others, I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without mutual consent, true love, and a deep, long-term commitment. I resolve to find spiritual support for the integrity of my relationship from family members, friends, and Sangha with whom there is support and trust. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Seeing that body and mind are interrelated, I am committed to learn appropriate ways to take care of my sexual energy and to cultivate the 4 basic elements of true love: loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, for the greater happiness of myself and others. Recognizing the diversity of human experience, I am committed not to discriminate against any form of gender identity or sexual orientation. Practicing true love, we know that we will continue beautifully into the future. This is the 3rd of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it during the past month?
The 4th mindfulness training, loving speech and deep listening. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening in order to relieve suffering and to promote reconciliation and peace in myself and among other people, ethnic and religious groups and nations. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am committed to speaking truthfully using words that inspire confidence, joy, and hope. When anger is manifesting in me, I am determined not to speak. I will practice mindful breathing and walking in order to recognize and to look deeply into my anger. I know that the roots of anger can be found in my wrong perceptions and lack of understanding of the suffering in myself and in the other person. I will speak and listen in a way that can help myself and the other person to transform suffering and see the way out of difficult situations. I am determined not to spread news that I do not know to be certain and not to utter words that can cause division and discord. I will practice right diligence to nourish my capacity for understanding, love, joy, and inclusiveness, and gradually transform anger, violence, and fear that lie deep in my consciousness. This is the 4th of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it during the past month?
The 5th mindfulness training, nourishment and healing. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, both physical and mental, for myself, my family, and my society by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will practice looking deeply into how I consume the 4 kinds of nutriments, namely edible foods, sense impressions, volition, and consciousness. I am determined not to gamble or to use alcohol, drugs, or any other products which contain toxins, such as certain websites, electronic games, TV programs, films, magazines, books, and conversations. I will practice coming back to the present moment to be in touch with the refreshing, healing, and nourishing elements in me and around me, not letting regrets and sorrow drag me back into the past, nor letting anxieties, fear, or craving pull me out of the present moment. I am determined not to try to cover up loneliness, anxiety, or other suffering by losing myself in consumption. I will contemplate interbeing and consume in a way that preserves peace, joy, and well-being in my body and consciousness, and in the collective body and consciousness of my family, my society, and the earth. This is the 5th of the 5 mindfulness trainings. Have you made an effort to study, practice, and observe it during the past month? Brothers and sisters, we have recited the 5 mindfulness trainings, the foundation of happiness for the individual, the family, and society. We should recite them regularly so that our study and practice of the mindfulness trainings can deepen day by day.
Reciting the trainings, practicing the way of awareness, gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, numerous beings who give guidance and support